Assalamu alaikum, students. Today we study 3 of the most important values. In Islam, honesty, seek, justice, ADL, and kindness, BECE. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, I was sent only to perfect good character. This hadith, recorded by Imam Ahmad, reveals that Islam is not only a religion of rituals. Its core purpose is to build people of good character who benefit their families, communities, and nations. For a country like Nigeria, facing challenges of corruption, injustice, and division, these 3 Islamic values are not abstract ideals. They are practical tools for building a better society, and they begin with each individual student in the classroom. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to define seek, honesty, ADL, justice, and ISN, kindness/excellence, support each with Quran and Hadith, and apply each to student life in Nigeria. Seek in Arabic means truth, sincerity, and honesty in speech, action, and intention. Allah commands in Surah At-Tawbah chapter 9, verse 119. O you who believe, fear Allah and be with the truthful. The Prophet, peace be upon him, described the relationship between honesty and faith in a hadith recorded in Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. Truthfulness leads to righteousness, and righteousness leads to paradise. A man keeps telling the truth until he is recorded with Allah as Siddiq, a man of truth. Falsehood leads to wickedness, and wickedness leads to hellfire. A man keeps lying until he is recorded with Allah as Qadidab, a liar. Forms of seek. Seek in speech, telling the truth at all times, even when it is difficult, uncomfortable, or costly. In Nigeria, a student who tells a teacher they did not complete their homework, rather than making an excuse, is practicing seek. Seek in dealings, being honest in business, trade, and agreements. The Prophet was known as Al-Amin, the trustworthy, before his prophethood. He never cheated in trade. The Prophet said, the truthful and trustworthy merchant will be with the prophets, the truthful, and the martyrs on the day of judgment. Seek in intention, doing things sincerely for Allah's sake, not for show. This is the connection between seek and the concept of ikhlas, pure sincerity. Opposite, kid, lying. The Prophet listed lying as one of the signs of a hypocrite. When he speaks, he lies. When he makes a promise, he breaks it. When he is entrusted, he betrays the trust. ADL in Arabic means justice, equity, and balance. Islam considers justice so important that it is listed as one of the attributes of Allah himself. Allah is Al-Adil, the just, among his 99 names. Allah commands in Surah An-Nisa chapter 4, verse 135. O you who believe, be persistently standing firm in justice, witnesses for Allah, even if it be against yourselves, your parents, or your relatives. This is extraordinary. Justice must be upheld even against oneself or family. In a culture where family loyalty and tribal solidarity can override justice. As in many parts of Nigeria, this Quranic command is radical and necessary. Surah Al-Ma'idah chapter 5, verse 8, do not let the hatred of a people prevent you from being just. Be just, that is nearer to righteousness. This verse directly addresses the danger of letting tribal or religious hatred justify injustice against another group. In Nigeria's context of Muslim-Christian relations and interethnic tensions, this is a direct command to Nigerian Muslims. Be just to all, regardless of their religion or tribe. The Prophet said, a ruler who is unjust will not enter paradise. And he said, the most beloved of people to Allah is the one who is most beneficial to others, a person who removes difficulty from a brother, cancels a debt, or feeds the hungry. ADL is not only for judges and rulers, every student practices justice when They do not steal, do not cheat, do not treat some classmates better than others because of their wealth or tribe. Ihsan is perhaps the most beautiful word in Islamic ethics. It means excellence, perfection, doing things in the best possible way, kindness, and benevolence. The most famous definition of ihsan comes from the hadith of Jibril, recorded in Sahih Muslim. When the angel Jibril asked the Prophet, "What is ihsan?" The Prophet replied, "It is to worship Allah as though you see Him, and though you cannot see Him, He sees you." Ihsan in worship, pray your salat with full concentration and presence. Ihsan in work, study your school subjects as thoroughly as possible. Ihsan in relationships, treat your parents with kindness, as if serving Allah. Ihsan in craft, do your work with care and excellence, as if presenting it to Allah. Allah commands in Surah An-Nur chapter 16, verse 90. Indeed, Allah commands justice, ihsan, excellence/kindness, and giving to relatives. And He forbids immorality, bad conduct, and oppression. In Nigeria, ihsan addresses the culture of mediocrity and cutting corners. A Muslim who does their schoolwork, their job, and their family responsibilities with ihsan, with excellence, as though Allah is watching, will transform themselves and their community. Let us review. Seek honesty, truth in speech, dealings, and intention. Prophet said, truthfulness leads to righteousness and paradise. Al-Amin, the trustworthy. Opposite, Kib, lying, a sign of hypocrisy. ADL, justice, equity upheld even against oneself or family. Quran 4:135. Be just even toward those you dislike. Quran 5:8. Every student practices justice daily in fairness to classmates. Ihsan, kindness/excellence, worship and act as though Allah sees you. Because He does. Hadith of Jibril. Allah commands ihsan alongside justice. Quran 16 hours 90 minutes. For homework, describe one situation in your school where seek, ADL, and ihsan are each needed. Write one specific action you will take based on each value.